Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. As always, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you for watching me and for subscribing. More than 80 countries around the world are researching or developing CBDCs, central bank digital currency. We're still in the early phases of CBDCs, but it is most definitely an idea that is catching on, especially among the developed nations. The countries that are developing their own CBDC represent more than 90% of the world's total GDP. So in my opinion, it is safe to say that CBDC won't completely replace cash, at least in the near future, but we will definitely see many countries implement their own digital currencies within the next several years. After watching this video, you will know how central bank digital currencies work, their pros and their cons. We'll chat about the types of CBDCs as well as the difference between CBDC and cryptocurrency. A central bank digital currency is a digital version of government-backed fiat money. This type of digital currency is issued by a central bank, and what's really important to know is that it is directly tied to the country's national currency. One of the key takeaways I want you to remember is that CBDCs are very similar to stablecoins. Yes, stablecoins are cryptocurrencies, but the reason I say a CBDC and stablecoins are similar is because both are pegged to fiat money. There's a quick video on my channel on fiat money if you're interested. CBDC, just like stablecoins, attempts to maintain the same value. The main difference is that the world's governments issue CBDC, while crypto is mined by individual users, but more on that later in this video. Before we move on to the next topic in today's video, in case you're curious, I've got a couple of examples of CBDCs for you. The Bahamas has launched the Sand Dollar, a digital version of their dollar. It is issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas through authorized financial institutions. Another example is China. China is testing a digital yuan, also known as the digital renminbi or digital RMB. Among countries with the largest economies, China has gotten the furthest in developing its own CBDC. Remember earlier in this video, I said that virtually every CBDC is a digital representation of a country's existing fiat money. Okay, so based on that information, a CBDC works the same way as the US dollar. The country's central bank issues its CBDC, which has the backing of the federal government. That CBDC can then be used as legal tender for transactions such as purchasing gasoline, groceries, or even going on vacation. So virtually anything. So as you can see, the way CBDC will be used is very similar to what we already have. The only difference is that all CBDC transactions will happen almost instantly using one and the same digital ledger. Also, fun fact, those who don't have bank accounts will be able to use CBDC as well. Now let's quickly chat about the biggest pros and cons to CBDCs. A CBDC guarantees more efficient and secure payment. It actually allows consumers to use their central bank directly without having to open an account with a private bank. This in turn has an advantage as well because it mitigates the risk of commercial bank collapse. And lastly, and this might be both a pro and a con in my opinion, transactions are very easy to track. Now let's take a look at the main cons. An obvious disadvantage is that CBDCs entail full and complete control being fully given to central banks. The fact that all transactions are easily trackable means less privacy for all users, virtually no privacy at all, let's be honest. And lastly, most likely, CBDCs issued by different countries may have slight variations, so the way they operate may not be completely the same across the board. There are two types of CBDCs, retail and wholesale. Technically, there are hybrids as well, but since they combine elements of retail and wholesale, they aren't truly standalone. Retail CBDCs are issued to the public. Consumers are able to own a CBDC in a wallet or account and use it for payments. In practice, this is a digital banking option, essentially for those who have bank accounts, as well as for those who don't. This is the option that the United States decided to develop, by the way. The Bahamas, which was the first country to launch a widely available CBDC, also chose the retail model. The second type of CBDCs are wholesale central bank digital currencies. These would be used by financial institutions for international and domestic payments. Wholesale CBDC uses a different structure with a digital ledger that would help prevent banking fraud. So I guess it is safe to say that it's a little bit more advanced. A few countries are focused on a wholesale CBDC model, including Singapore, Malaysia, and Saudi Arabia. But most are developing either a retail or hybrid CBDC. CBDCs are not cryptocurrencies. The idea for CBDCs definitely came from cryptocurrencies, but they are two very different types of digital currencies. The biggest difference between CBDCs and cryptocurrencies is centralization. A cryptocurrency is a decentralized digital currency, meaning that there is no central party or central entity that controls it. Transactions are processed and recorded on a blockchain, which is a public distributed ledger. I do have several quick videos here on my channel about cryptocurrency, so make sure you check those out next. And I will link them below for you, of course. And as we already mentioned earlier in this video, a central bank digital currency is controlled by a central bank, 100% controlled. Cryptocurrency also provides much greater privacy than CBDCs. Transactions are sent and received through wallet addresses, and certain types of cryptocurrencies are even thought to be completely untraceable. With a CBDC, the central bank will have a record of users and all of their transactions, so there's not going to be any privacy at all, and the central bank will have every little detail that it needs. So keep that in mind as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think about possibly using a CBDC once it is fully developed here in the US. I would love to hear from you. I know that many people disagree and some love the idea and some don't. So I would love to hear from you. Make sure that you drop a comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much for your support. Remember to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends and family, those who might want to learn more about CBDCs. Those things really help support me here on YouTube. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in my new one soon. Take care.